If you believe everyone, no matter where they live, deserve a place to call home, you're not alone. On Housing for Good, host Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore explore housing solutions from McPherson to communities across Kansas and beyond. We bring you stories and insights from housing experts, policymakers, and people who are making a real impact. Join the conversation. Listen wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and more, because housing isn't just local, it's universal.
Welcome to Housing for Good, a podcast dedicated to housing topics and issues affecting our communities in McPherson County and beyond. With years of experience and expertise, hosts Chris Goodson and Karolyn Moore discuss housing challenges and opportunities with other experts from a variety of housing fields.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Housing for Good. I'm Karolyn.
And I'm Chris.
So, Chris, there's some major news going on right now.
There is some major
Federal
news.
government is shut down.
I know. It's just really sad to think about all those people that are being furloughed. Hopefully, it won't be for very long.
Well, and for us, because we get our money for our programs from grants, we are sitting right now kind of in a state of uncertainty as to what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I told you this morning I needed to contact somebody with our snowfall money for Sutherland Estates. And you said, well, just remember, there might not be anybody working right now.
That's right.
It's like, oh, my gosh. So, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just see what happens. Keep our fingers crossed. It'll be fine as usual.
Yeah.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we've gone through it before.
Yeah, we have. So anyways, okay. So what do we got today, Karolyn?
My gosh. This is probably, we haven't even done it yet, but I'm going to tell you, I think that this is probably one of the best podcasts.
You know, I just want to say she says this a lot in case you've been on our show before. But we really love these guys a lot. We love them a lot.
So Ron helped us out with our housing conference.
He did.
And did an amazing job as the MC, where he introduced people on one side.
You know what I have to say is you should never say to us, whatever you want me to do, just ask me.
Exactly. You just never know. But he did a great job.
And he was on TV.
And for the first time, we kind of got to hear a little bit about him.
Yes.
And I'm like, we have to have those guys on our podcast.
Yeah, and he was on TV. Channel 3 TV. That was on Thursday morning, which would have been October the 2nd.
Yes.
So that's our Wichita station. So if you want to see him in person, watch that. It was good. I was on there too, but I thought he did a way better job than me.
Okay.
I'm like, ugh, like that. All right. So anyways, welcome. We're over here cracking jokes and doing everything like we do. But welcome. And so introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay. Thank you for having us. I thought we were special, but you just said that she says every podcast is
her favorite.
Is her favorite?
No, not.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
I'm just kidding. Well, I'm Ron, and I'm newly back to America. I had spent the last 13 years living in a village in North India, where God had sent me there 13 years ago. I grew up in Chicago, and then I was raised there. I lived a little bit near Hollywood. I went to music school for a little while, and then I went to Minneapolis, St. Paul, where I had a fantastic life being a construction guy and doing commercial work, commercial office buildings, and interior remodeling of those office spaces for people like the Minnesota Twins and Pepsi Americas and Delta Airlines. It was super fun. And then God sent me to India. And then I thought I would be in India forever, but then God changed things up a little bit about 4 months ago. And
6 months ago.
6 months ago.
We've been here already 3 months.
I know, right? That's crazy. Oh,
He said, I want you to come back to America. And I'm like, wow. And I know that this kind of fits in with the housing thing. I know what it is coming back to America because I had climbed that ladder of employment in my previous life. So when you climb the ladder and get to almost the top, which I felt really, I wasn't great or anything, but I had a great business and life was wonderful. And then when you get out of line or get off the ladder, then you get put to the back of the line again. It's really hard to come back in to that place that I was at. I knew that. So I wasn't really excited about coming back to America because I didn't know how, at 60 years old, 59, how I would how am I going to do it again?
Yeah.
And it was made possible through you guys, through the McPherson Housing Coalition.
Okay, Swati, tell us about your beginnings.
Man, I want to know how they got together.
I
Don't
do
you?
too. I
mean,
want
is
to
that
know how they
inappropriate?
met.
I do too. Somebody asked me. I was like, I don't know how they got together.
Oh, I don't know. That's a story for another time, I guess.
In India, 98% of marriages are arranged. So I think she would agree. Our marriage was arranged by God, actually, because
Okay.
that's how it came to be.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we didn't know each other before.
Oh, cool.
He had gone to India 3 times, but I was away studying. He went to help my parents with the school. My parents had started a school in a remote village in India as missionaries, and he had gone to help my parents. So he'd been to my place, but we'd never met.
Oh.
So we met in 2011, December, for my brother's wedding. That's when we met him. And before I think he came there, he had given his life to God once again and surrendered. And, that's his story.
Yeah.
My story was I was finishing my master's in Cambridge at that time in England. And I had just gone for the wedding for a little bit. And my journey in Nagod had started when I was born and brought up there. But since I was 8 years old, I felt that God called me to that place to serve and continue to work in the school. So my whole life was dedicated to that. And so my prayer always was, I don't know how much sense it makes here, that God, if I marry somebody, I want to marry somebody who loves you more than he loves me, and he comes to this place not because of me but because of you. And that's how it happened. And
Okay, I'm just going to say that's beautiful. But let's go back to, you mentioned that you were studying at Cambridge. So what did you do at the school?
in India.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working. There are like so many facets to what I was doing. I was training teachers. I was teaching full time. I was mentoring. I was responsible for the curriculum. And we had around 1,000 kids that come to our school. So it is from kindergarten to all the way to 12th grade.
Okay.
And you were principal.
And I was principal.
Okay.
Did you sleep? I mean, seriously, I do a lot, but that sounds way
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
1,000. Can you imagine 1,000 kids? That's
Oh
unbelievable.
my gosh.
I don't know if you know this or not, but Swati was born in that house where we lived.
Ugh,
And her mom was alone. So
Yeah.
she gave birth to Swati and had to cut the
Oh, my
umbilical
gosh.
cord herself and everything. So it's quite a story. Swati
Yeah.
used to fetch water from a well with a rope and a bucket, and the well would go down like 100 feet. It was an open well, like you would read about in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. So you grew up in this village and you went to school knowing specifically you were going to come back.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you
Yes.
the most highly educated person in the whole area?
Probably.
Because I can't imagine if
I
somebody
had
went
double
to Cambridge.
masters. Yeah, I had one master's from Leeds, which was in biosciences, and then I went and did another master's in education from Cambridge. So
That's amazing.
yeah,
I think you were qualified to be anywhere in the whole world that you want to be. Oh, both of you, actually.
Yeah.
Although her father was the top of his class at the MIT of India.
yeah.
So
He was
when you say
super
highly
smart.
educated, he was
Even more.
literally a genius.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
that's incredible. So,
Wow.
so you come by it naturally. And it's like your kids come by it naturally, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this all happens. You're there for 13 years, and then what happens?
Then for 1 year, since in 2024 July, I had started to get a feeling that something is coming around the corner, and God would wake me up in the middle of the night. I would just cry and pray, and I didn't know what was God asking me. So I was interceding for all the people that were working there, and spent hours and hours just praying, fasting, seeking the Lord. And as December came, God asked a question of me that if I ask you to let go, will you let go? And I went and I talked to Ron. It's like, how can even God ask me? Of course, it is God who asks me. If he asks me to let go, of course I will let go, right? It's the right thing to do. And Ron's like, are you sure you'll be able to let go? And the same question my brother asked me. I said, yeah, of course. My life first belongs to God, and I serve God, and then I serve the people around. So I think God took that very seriously. And after that, in March, I did a complete 21-day fast. And midpoint in that fast, that's when God said, just when your garden started to grow, you have to let go so others can grow. And that point, that's when he was feeling the same thing on his own, because he was praying on his own. We usually used to pray in the evening together, walking around the compound. But that time he was on his own praying, and I was praying by myself, because fasting can get very intense and things, it's just a very different time. But when we came together, I didn't share it with him. He shared first with me that he feels like God has cut the strings that he was holding Ron with in
God
that place.
Put his arm around my back one day. It was like very palpable. He put his arm around me, patted me on the back, and said, "Good job. You've done what I asked you to do. Now you're done. So now you have to leave." So then I told that to Swati. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't know she was feeling the same thing even 6 months before me.
So then we prayed about it together. And then we said, okay. And it was very hard to give this message to our family, because we were running the school with my brother and sister-in-law and my father. It was very hard. And plus it was very hard because we didn't know where we were going. We didn't know what we were going to do. And we didn't even know when we were going. We just knew that it was this year sometime, and that we have to get our hearts ready to let go.
When God leads you, he doesn't light the next 5 years out. He just lights your next step. He wants to test your faith to see if you're going to take that step without knowing where you're going. So when in our hearts we had surrendered, okay, we have to leave, but where are we? I mean, the pallet was blank. We didn't have any idea.
And we don't have any savings because we give everything, we pour it back into the school. You know, we don't even get paid for like 2-3 months at a go.
6 months.
Yeah, so we're just living out of faith there. And then suddenly we don't have the money to buy the tickets. We don't have anything. But God says you have to go. So we said, okay. But it to anybody we would say it sounded very foolish. Like, you don't have the money, you don't know where you're going.
We gave God like these check boxes. We said, okay, we don't have a job. We don't have plane tickets. We don't have a home. We don't have a car.
My goodness.
What are you going to do first? And one by one, God, every week, this has lasted for about, 6 weeks, 7 weeks or something. God told us when. Somebody gave us money for plane tickets. One by one, until one day we talked to you Zoom.
Okay, I would love to say something right here. When Chris and I first started trying to build the emergency shelter, there was no federal money for that. But Chris said, same thing you did. There's something, she told me this right after she hired me. There's something big coming. I can feel it. I don't know what it is yet, but just be ready. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And so I just have to say, for those people that are listening, when you find yourself on the front edge of what God's doing, it is the most rewarding place, but it is also the scariest place you will ever live.
Totally. Well put.
But he does, like you said, you take this step. Okay, done that. Now I'll give you the next step, and I'll give you the next step. So, I love it.
And when there's people like us and you guys who are all tuned in a tapestry with God, we're all connected through God, he can then, like a switchboard operator, he speaks into your heart and says, I'm preparing somebody over there. Because we're all connected.
So then, like you said, you found out about us, and we found out about you. And Lynn Black was instrumental in getting that contact. So we tried to talk on a video call. That didn't go so well.
Nobody knew what was happening.
And then we talked through an app, and we did a little bit of communicating. And
Lynn had called me like in March or April. She said, hey, I got these friends are thinking about moving somewhere. They don't know where, but could you house them? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I knew nothing, but we're always open to whatever that's supposed to look like. And that was kind of like, and then I forgot about it, actually. Then she calls me back.
And at that time, we didn't have a house.
Oh, we didn't have a house.
The house wasn't done yet.
Yeah.
And so, just to watch kind of how all of these pieces came into being, and the timing is exactly where it needs to be. So,
and you know what else I love? I'm going to interrupt really quick. What I love about this is not only did he provide a house, he provided a brand new house. He gives you the best, right?
No.
That's true.
You have the best. I mean, it wasn't like something that that nobody wants to be in. It was a brand new concept, a brand new home. It was perfect.
It was perfect in every
What did our
way.
daughter call it when she walked in?
Dream house.
It's our dream house
And
because
it
it had
has
a
a-
D. Ours is Unit D. This is our dream house.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. But
Okay,
anyway, so we got to get
so-
into these questions, Karen.
yeah. So the development where you guys live is called Sutherland Estates, and it is the latest affordable housing project by McPherson Housing Coalition. And you guys have a 3-bedroom home. And this particular housing development is for people who are low income, and you can live there as long as you want.
Right. And teachers, firemen, people starting over, all kinds of people fit into this category.
Yeah.
You know, people always have these ideas about low income or this or whatever. It's income qualified, really.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, so that's something that you have to think about is we actually have a teacher in there. We have people who are starting their careers or starting over. And so this is really important. This is really important work that we're doing because there's nothing else like it in Kansas that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And I don't know about that. On the news thing, they said it was the only one in Kansas or at least in the country or something. And I can't say that for sure. I know the Oak Harbor Cottages was the only one in the nation. But it's really important that we help people along this path. And that's what this is doing, giving people a chance and a head start and helping them to start over.
Yeah, absolutely. So after returning from India, what has surprised you the most about housing issues in McPherson compared to what you saw in India?
And also, I just want to backtrack. You've changed the trajectory. Your housing, physical house, is important because it's changed the trajectory of our life, our kids' lives. You know, like we were talking, our oldest kid is now the class president or whatever of his
Student council
or whatever.
Amazing.
You've, through your efforts, and it's not just us, everybody who's living there,
Yeah.
you've touched them, just like us.
Yeah.
So we're not special. We're just one of a group of people that you've helped over the years. So
Yeah.
it's awesome. I had no idea there was housing issues in America. I had my own house in St. Paul, and I don't know. I had no idea that there was housing issues. So there was not enough housing that's affordable. I had no idea. So that's a big shocking thing for me. And then
In India, mostly people live in joint families. So, and it's an overcrowded country, as you know. So there's very little housing actually available, even if they want to separate from their families and go and live somewhere else. There are not many houses there that they can live. And they would have to build from scratch.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very expensive. India is very expensive to build. Ron
as
has lived-
expensive as here.
Yeah,
Okay.
almost. Yeah.
So generational families generationally living together.
Yes.
And I am seeing that here a lot. So I'm also a licensed appraiser, and I do a lot of appraisals, and I'm seeing a lot of grandchildren with their grandparents and parents all living together. It's becoming very common.
And maybe we need to return to that as a country. Like I was saying earlier, my grandparents and parents and aunts and uncles coming from Italy on the boat back in the early part of the last century, you know, they all lived together in Chicago in the same house, same neighborhood. And when they retell those stories, it's fabulous. Those were the golden days.
Yeah.
And so what happened to America that we became so individualistic and everyone's got to have their own, you know, one person in a 5,000 square foot house or whatever. You know what I mean? What happened?
Yeah.
So
it's hard to stay mad at a family member when you're living with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. So, when we talked about what lessons or practices from India do you think we could help our affordable housing, you just answered that question. Multiple families living together, children, grandchildren, parents, aunts and uncles, or whatever. That's one thing that could happen in America. That really would bring us closer together. And, our families have become so separated. I mean, I have a brother in Germany I haven't seen in years. And I have another one in California, and I see him once or twice a year. We're very separated from one another, and so my kids don't necessarily get to enjoy what I had growing up. My grandmother always lived with us, and then we were very close to my dad's side of the family. So there was just that connection, and my kids don't have that necessarily here. So
it's a built-in support.
Yes,
instead of going to some paid person or something.
Yeah.
There's a whole family there that could hopefully support you, although sometimes families can be difficult too. So.
Yeah.
So what does Sutherland Estates mean to you guys personally as a resident, a neighbor, a community member?
I could say easy things. I mean, it means everything to me because it's God. I mean, I don't even view it necessarily as just a house or a place to live. I mean, this is God coming down and working in my life and in our neighbors' lives. It's very tangible. The work that's being done for us is being done for many people. So it's a huge, huge thing. It's not just a house. You're saving people.
Well, and you and I have had a conversation before where a lot of the folks that live there are single parents, single women with children. And you said, let them know if they need to have something moved or something hung up or there's a problem with something to let me know. I'm happy to help. And I think that is community. That's another thing that we see missing in the United States. I know my neighbors, but I think there are neighborhoods where people don't know who lives next door to them. And so that is another thing that Chris and I really wanted to bring back into people's lives is there's a sense of community. These are your neighbors. And if you let them know you're going to be gone, they'll watch out for your house while you're gone to make sure nothing's going on. And just those kinds of things that neighbors do. And I've watched you guys both start to do that. You mentioned the other day giving one of the neighbor kids a ride home. He was going to have to walk. Well, walking wouldn't hurt him, but he got home way faster.
Yeah, and he felt like somebody truly cared about him.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think sometimes our kids struggle and they don't believe that anybody cares.
Also, I would mention this, the kids in each house. I mean, it's just so beautiful to see, like my kids go out and they want to be friends with everybody over there.
Yeah.
All these kids want to come into our house.
Oh, you're that family. Maybe we should provide snacks for them.
That's where the community center would really help.
I'm sure would be good,
That's what I
wouldn't
was
it?
saying, that a place where the kids can just feel safe and come and play and be outside, be with each other.
Well,
because-
and there's somebody home.
yeah.
That was always important when my kids were playing with neighbors. Is there a parent home where you're going? So that's another thing that, when you have kids that maybe come home and mom's not home from work yet, it can be a little stressful to be there by yourself. So, yeah.
And having people like Swati there who can help people with their homework. If we had a community center where kids could
where
come.
we could help them do reading lessons or help them with their homeworks, because I can see they're all struggling.
Yeah.
I've seen them in school also. So because a part of coming from broken families is that the children suffer.
Yes.
And it's heartbreaking to me to see that boy. There's one boy who'll always follow me around, wanting to talk, just wanting to talk. He loves to just, he'll cycle by me. He'll ask nice questions, tell me stuff about him, just that comfort and trust. And I just feel bad. We both feel bad that we are not able to do more because we don't know what we can do. We would love to do more for them, but we don't know our boundaries and
Yeah.
what we can
Yeah.
do for them or not. But
Yeah,
we'd love to.
That's awesome. I know for us, kids have always been the heart of what we do at McPherson Housing Coalition, because if you can get to the kids and show them there's a different way, you begin to solve some of these issues. You know, they can choose something different as an adult, maybe. You know, you never know. I had a kid come to me at the Oak Harbor Cottages. His class was touring, and he said, I got to live there. He was so proud of being able to live at our shelter because it's beautiful. It made him feel safe. There was people there who cared about him.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing to your, because it's a community. We built these as communities where people can care for one another and support one another and be able to really change the trajectory for themselves and their children, which is like, that's always where our heart is, the kids. It's-
And yet you're giving them the privacy as well, giving them their own beautiful home.
Yeah.
So it's not like some housing facilities where everyone's crammed into like maybe an apartment complex or something.
Yeah.
You've given everybody a beautiful space to make their own.
yeah.
Plus, you have community.
there
You've
is
got both worlds.
There is a true sense of normalcy, having a home and a community, especially for these people and for us also. I mean, I was telling Ron, we couldn't have, you know, even in our dreams, dreamed up something so perfect. So, yeah.
I'm just over here smiling. I can't
know,
even
me
talk.
too.
Not supposed to just be doing that on a podcast, right? We're supposed to be talking, but I'm just smiling because it just makes my heart happy that this is happening. This is what we imagined. This is what God really showed us. This is what was I mean, if you think about it, neither one of us are really smart enough to figure these things out. I mean, it really was led. And it's what we really felt like what needed to happen. And we've been pushing this. You know, I've told people across the country, I said, you know, if other communities could adopt this, we could get rid of homelessness. We could help families repair and be able to be just in a really good spot. You know, I mean, this could fix it all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dignity in living there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Nobody, I don't feel bad at all. I mean, I just love it. It's dignified,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's what we really, that's what we want. So
Yeah.
that's why we're having this podcast. That's why we're pushing this, because we really believe that it could change the trajectory of this country as a whole. If we could get more organizations and people to step up and to do this exact same thing. It's not hard. It's really not that difficult once you get going.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful second chance that you're giving to people. It's unique. It's a unique second chance that you're giving to people, which is so biblical. This is like, I feel like this is the heart of God, giving people a second chance.
Well, He is the God of second. He gave me a second chance.
He's given us lots of second chances.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hardly speak here. This is
I
just
know.
so emotional for me. So how do you think local governments, nonprofits, and residents work better together to ensure long-term success of these projects? Do you know, do you think we should do something differently? What do you think about what has happened here about this type of project? I know one of the things that we really want to do is build that clubhouse. Again, it's all about money, but that would really change lives again. If the kids had a place to go, we could put pool tables or ping pong tables, or we could have places for computers. We could have all kinds of things happening there.
I think the benefit you have here is that you're in a wonderful community of people and churches who cooperate. You had volunteers who did A+ work,
Yes.
craftsmanship, giving their all, people who care. It's a wonderful community that you're doing this in. Whereas if this were to try to happen in another part of the country, you know, it would be kind of up to those people. Are there people there who are
That caring.
that caring as a community?
Yeah.
Churches that are cooperating, you know, and genuine. So that's a key thing. I also think, as we were talking about positions and jobs and all this stuff, to do as much as you can in-house is important, because outside of McPherson Housing's Coalition are businessmen. They want to make money.
Yeah.
You want to build a house, I want to make as much profit as I can, which is great. That's what we should do, make profit. So, but, you know, how do you intersect that with what you're doing? So I think a lot more should happen in-house so that you can stay within that godly model of caring for people and not necessarily the huge although nonprofits can make a profit as long as they churn it back in. So profits are good.
Right. But that's not your main point, right? I mean, that's not what we're here to do, but the profits help us to pay our staff and to be able to pay for things for our families. I always say the more money we can make, then we have more to give back.
Right.
You know, when somebody maybe one of our kids needs something or a family needs something, or, you know, sometimes families come to us, they have nothing, obviously, and so we have to figure out how do we do this. Well, it's nice to have that extra money to go, well, that's not a problem. Here, let me get that for you.
Yeah. Money's not a bad thing. The love of money is a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
As long as we have plenty of it and use it for good, then that's a great thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I am really excited. This is a great interview, and I feel like that they've really been able to express what we wanted to happen all this time, right? We wanted a place where people were dignified and where they felt like people cared about them, where they had a beautiful space. And I think that they're saying that we did it.
We're watching it
God did
come
it.
to be.
Yes,
God did it.
God did it. And that's the really great part about all this is how all these people have come together. You know, I did say something to somebody one day. I was on a meeting on Monday, and these people were jabbering back and forth and saying all this stuff. Well, how'd you do it or whatever? And I said, well, we got the faith community involved, blah, blah, blah. And I said, finally, I'm not against people having missionaries around the world. That's obviously what we're called to do. However, when you live in a community, that's my mission field. This is my mission field. God did not call me to go anywhere else. He called me to be here. And so if the churches would understand that, then what we did here could happen anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's it. We have to understand this is our mission field, people. Right here, right where you live. Not 2 hours away, not 5 hours away, not anywhere. Right here.
Yep, absolutely. So this has got to be probably one of the more personal type podcasts that we've recorded, talking about the work that we're doing and the actual impact it's having on people. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
If you would be interested to be on our podcast, or you know somebody who would be very interesting to have a conversation with, give us a line, leave us a review, drop us that information at housingforgood@mcphersonhc.org. Thank you for listening today.
And have a great day.